Hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, let me ask you, who are your associates? Any idea? Sometimes you run across companies or small businesses, and it'll say like Cross Carpet and Associates, or usually Todd and Associates, or something like that. Billy Bob and Associates. The associates are the support staff that you'd say that are really your right-hand man. The associates are not just your secretary, but it's the guys working with you, or ladies, that help get the things done that need to be gotten done. So hopefully you have good associates if you work, but also in leadership development in your Christian ministry, and all of us are in Christian ministry. But hopefully you're developing leaders around you, okay? My prayer a lot of times in the morning is, Lord, set me apart for ministry, but not just for me. I pray that I would bring people along with me in that ministry. It's not a Todd show. It's about bringing a group of people along with me to do ministry, to train them in ministry, and I'm trained by other guys in ministry, okay? So that's what the associates are, guys that help you in that ministry. And a good picture of that is like in the business world. If you have a business, we have the business, and so I have my daughter that works for me, so she's an associate. So if I need help with something, she's there to help me. If need help carrying a rug, or today it was cleaning upholstery, she's there to help me, and she's my associate. And then I have other businesses around us too that if I need drying equipment, they're there with their drying equipment, or if they need drying equipment, we're there to help each other in that sense. Paul is writing this book, the book of Philippians, while he's in prison. But he has associates, okay? And we're going to look at that today. He talks about it, and he doesn't talk down upon them at all. He highly praises these guys and thinks highly of them. And they were such good associates and put everything they had into it that both of them almost died, doing this ministry. So while they were with Paul. So let's read here today. This is taken from Philippians 2, verses 19 to 30. Okay? It says this: I hope in the Lord Jesus to send Timothy to you soon, that I also may be cheered when I receive news about you. I have no one else like him who will show genuine concern for your welfare. For everyone looks out for their own interests, not those of Jesus Christ. But you know that Timothy has proved himself, because as a son with his father he has served with me in the work of the gospel. I hope therefore to send him as soon as I see how things go with me. And I am confident in the Lord that I myself will come soon. But I think it is necessary to send back to you Epaphroditus, my brother, co-worker, and fellow soldier, who is also your messenger, whom you sent to take care of my needs. For he longs for all of you, and is distressed because you heard he was ill. Indeed, he was ill, and almost died. There it goes, he's almost dead. He was almost died. But God had mercy on him, and not only on him only, but also on me, to spare me sorrow upon sorrow. Therefore I am all the more eager to send him, so that when you see him again you may be glad, and I may have less anxiety. So then welcome him in the Lord with great joy, and honor people like him, because he almost died for the work of Christ. He risked his life to make up for me for the help you yourselves could not give me. Okay. Now, there's two guys listed here. These are associates of Paul. All right. So these two guys are Epaphroditus and Timothy. All right. Let's start with Epaphroditus. Epaphroditus is from Philippi. Okay. And Philippi had a church, which is made up of the Philippian people. So this church had, you could say, pastors. One of the pastors they sent to Paul while he was in prison to help care for his needs, okay, to help him out. It was their way. They were like, oh, we're not going to send the whole church to help him. Let's send Epaphroditus. And he was there to encourage him and help him with his needs if he needed. Back then, too, when you were in jail, you didn't go to the cafeteria and get your lunch and stuff like that. That had to be provided to you by friends and family and so forth. Okay? So this Epaphroditus comes from Philippi and is there with Paul. And while he's with Paul, he gets sick and almost dies. But he was revived there. And Paul is saying, I want to send him back to you, to encourage you also. He was a great encouragement to me, and now hopefully he can be an encouragement to you. And while Paul and Epaphroditus are together, they're talking about the church and everything. So Paul is getting insight as to what's happening at the church in Philippi. That's why this letter is written. Okay. He also mentions Timothy. Timothy was a guy that he had brought and discipled, really. Okay. So he was with him at different times throughout his ministry. He would be with him, and then he'd send him on to do something else, and then he'd be back with him and so forth. So Paul was training Timothy up. Timothy was a much younger man than Paul. And so Paul was training him up in the ministry. And he would do that. They would be together, and then Paul would send him, to pastor a church or whatever. So those were his two associates there. And it points that out. And I like what it says here in verse 21. For everyone looks out for their own interests, which is true. Everyone today is looking out for their own interest. They're not going, how would this benefit you? Everyone's going, how does this benefit me? All right. So he says, for everyone looks out for their own interest, but not those of Jesus Christ. But you know that Timothy has proved himself, because as a son with his father, he has served with me in the work of the gospel. Okay. And he's hoping to send Timothy to him, to the Philippian church too, to encourage them also. So all three of these guys are tied in really heavily with the Philippian church. And Paul is praising these two associates he has. Okay. My challenge for you today is this. What associates do you have in ministry? Hopefully you're doing ministry. Hopefully you are doing ministry. That's where you need to start. And then who are you training up to hopefully take over that ministry or do another ministry? Who are you discipling? Hopefully your children are people that is someone that you're discipling. It could be your grandchildren, okay? But it could be other people in the church or outside of the church, friends you have. I mean, the list could go on and on. Co-workers, all right. So God has called us to lead people to salvation, but He's also called us to disciple those people, not just leave them, after salvation, but to disciple those people. And my encouragement today is, who do you have that you are discipling, and how are you leading them along? How are they associates to you? And so Paul was discipling these guys, but they came along and they were associates. So it's better if you do ministry, you got this 3 guys here doing the ministry, which is a whole lot more effective. We just did several mold jobs here, and it was nice. We had 3 of us working on that, and it was amazing how much faster the job got done rather than just myself doing it. But when 3 of us are working at it, it goes a whole lot better. So it was me and my associates doing those jobs. Who is helping you with ministry? I'd encourage you, look around. Hey, I'm Todd. I'm a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through Philippians. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.